Hi, and welcome back to the stop motion animation series. This is part 3, and we're going to start doing the video editing. So I'm using iMovie, but you should be able to use almost any video editing package, including Windows Movie Maker. I don't know of a whole lot that are online that are free, but I wish you luck, and if you know a few that are free that you like, please leave them in the comments below for others. So here's iMovie, and I'm going to choose Create New, and I'll choose Movie. So I'm going to do just the basics here. This is not a iMovie tutorial, of course. So here's my media settings here. Now what you can do is you can save yourself a little bit of time, and you can do a little step before you actually import the many frames. So if you come up here to iMovie and Preferences, down here you'll see that there's a little slot here that says Photo Duration and Photo Placement. So by default, the photo placement is set to Ken Burns, and if you don't know who he is, he's a famous film documentarian, and he did an effect where he did zooming and panning on photos. Either way, nothing against Ken Burns, but we don't want his effect on all of our photos. So we're going to change this to fit, and that means that when every photo comes into the timeline down here, it just automatically fits. There's no animation or anything like that. Next, we want to change our photo duration, how long each photo frame lasts, to 0.1 seconds, and that's the fastest that iMovie currently can do. Okay, so once you're done with that, we can go ahead and close those iMovie preferences. And then we're going to go find our folder on the desktop of all of our frames. So here it is here, and I only have 19 frames. I wish I had a little more. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my mouse pointer and click inside one of these frames, and I'm going to press Command A on the keyboard. And when you do that, it will select all of your frames. You can now go ahead and drag and drop them right over here to where it says Import Media, and now all of your frames come in. Okay, so here they are, and they are in order from top left to the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the very first one, and then I'm going to hold down the Shift key and select the very last one. And by holding down Shift, it selects everything in between. Then I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop all of them down here into the timeline and let go. Okay, so you have your play bar down here as you move the mouse around. Just moving the mouse left and right, you can see it moving around there. It tells you right up here in the middle here how long your animation currently is. You can go ahead and press the space bar to play it, space bar to pause it, space bar again to play it. So a couple of things now. You'll see the time duration for each photo. So right now it's 0.1 seconds. If I want this photo to last a little longer, I can put my mouse pointer on the right hand side and I can left click and drag to the right, and you can see that I can go ahead and I can just change it there. Now if you don't like the way that it's behaving, if it's a little too sensitive, you can go ahead and you can double click on the image there, and then what we can do is we can change, you can come up here in the top right corner and click on the little eye, and here you will see the duration, and you can go ahead and you can manually change it. So if I try to do 0.2, hit return, it should now be 0.2 seconds instead of 0.1 second. Okay, so again you can come back up there, change it back to 0.1, and there we go. Okay, so you can also you can delete frames. So if you discover in here that you have a frame that has your hand in there, you can just basically click on it and you can press delete and it will go away. You can also undo that, since I didn't mean to do that. You can copy and paste so you can duplicate. So for instance, if I wanted this first frame to be back here again, maybe I wanted it to repeat itself or something like that, I could select it. I could press Command C to copy it. Go over here, left click to put the play bar here, and I can press Command V, V as in victory, and that pastes it there. So now I just pasted it and you can see it's back there. Doesn't really make sense in this scenario, but you can copy and paste frames quite nicely. You can also drag and drop and move your frames around if you need to reorder them, so that's really handy. But if you did your job filming, you're probably not going to need that at all. Okay, so from this point out, you could go ahead, you could add in some audio or some sound effects. I'll put that in the next part. But what I'm going to do now is, let's say you've done all of your editing, and you can go ahead and you can export. So I'll save that for the very last part, and in the very last part I'll show you how to add in some text and some audio, just the basics, and then we'll go ahead and we'll export. So I'll see you then.